Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to Tower Tuesday, our last Tower Tuesday of 2023, if you can believe it. And if you thought I was going to forget, think again. Just because it was my birthday yesterday on Christmas Day does not mean that I would leave you hanging on this glorious Tower Tuesday. Also, for those of you who have booked the $20 private reading special on buymeacoffee.com, I haven't forgotten about you either. Every single person's booking is either recorded or scheduled to be recorded this week, so have no fear, beloved. I am here, but I'm also not British. It just comes out at random moments. We're Tower Tuesdaying it up on one of the most powerful full moons of the entire year, which is the full moon in Cancer. It is today, December 26th, and this energy is going to echo on all the way until our next new moon, and if we're being honest, beyond. And for those of you who are intuitives and empaths and sensitives like myself, you've probably been feeling this full moon energy building for the past 2 weeks, because as soon as we got into the full moon waxing process following the new moon a couple of weeks ago, the energy's all intensified, and there have been miracles, and there have been stressors, and there have been distance in family relations, and surprising closeness in family relations, and just a lot going on. So there's no better time than a Tower Tuesday to figure out what is happening as we close out this beautiful year. This will take us all the way to January the 1st of 2024, beautiful soul, if you can believe that. And not only can I believe it, I'm thrilled. We're going to talk a little bit about what 2024 energies are feeling like here at the Little Reader's House in an upcoming video, so keep your beautiful eyes peeled for that. But wow, before we get there, let's look at what's being destroyed this week. What is going down this Tower Tuesday? When I go, let's not go down that road. When I speak of going down, what I mean is what is crumbling, what is falling apart, what energy is Spirit ushering out, and what is being brought in its place. I'm sure you've heard, beautiful soul, that the universe abhors a vacuum. So when something is cleared out and space is made, something else comes in. And usually it comes in instantaneously. There is no empty space in the universe. Whether the physical manifestation is there or not, the energy of that thing is ever present. So whatever situation you're thinking about, understand that the energy that we read today applies to all situations. Its manifestation is different in every circumstance. So you may be interested in your love life or your career life or your family life or your personal private life, healing journey. These energies apply to all those areas, beautiful soul. So Spirit, show us. I'm thinking 3 things is what we're going to look at. 3 things. 3 types of energy that are being crumbled this week, today, starting this glorious Tower Tuesday, right here, right off the top. Ooh, and we're not going to flip them yet. Apparently we're going mystery this Tower Tuesday. And Spirit, what is coming in its place? What is coming in its place? What was at the bottom? The heart. I always love to peep the bottom of the deck. The heart was there, is there. So let's flip and let's see. What's going out? Ooh, the orphan. So feelings of loneliness, feelings of abandonment, feelings of I have to do this all on my own. I'm the only person I've got. I'm the only one that I can count on. The offering. So this moment that has been perpetual in our lives so far is this feeling of giving in order to receive. I think that's especially pertinent during the holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, you may be familiar with this sensation of I have to give in order to get. I have to change myself in order to be worthy of receiving. I have to mold myself into what somebody else wants me to be in order for me to get what I need, to have my needs met. And finally, the riddle, confusion. These are powerful energies, beautiful soul. And of course, it makes sense. We talked about this powerful full moon, but the combination of these together, and I'm going to hold them up so that you can see all 3 at once, and you can visually, with your spirit body, sense what I'm talking about. is incredibly powerful. With the riddle, the offering, and the orphan, you have been asking this question: what do I need to give to get what I want? Where do I have to work harder? Where do I have to sacrifice? Where do I need to stop being so needy? And it's with this question element here too. And I sense that in the offering immediately, but with the riddle here, there's this question of, how can I be good enough? How can I do enough? How can I earn the love? How can I make my move? How can I be the master of my own reality? How can I even be offered by other people the things that I'm seeking to receive? The love, the validation, the going out, the compliments, the presence. And I don't mean gifts in this particular instance. I mean their presence. What do I have to give in order to get? That is crumbling this week. And what is coming in? Wow, the river. So we have this fast flowing emotion. We have movement. And that always brings me back to Hosier's, so move me, baby. Whoa. Shake like the bough of a willow tree. You do it naturally. Move me. The venom is coming in. We're going to talk about this in a minute, but pay attention, because this card is often interpreted, even by myself, even by me, as a negative. It depends on the situation, but we're going to talk about a little of what it means. Check out that moon there, half moon. It's a half moon that could be, we don't know because of the way it's depicted, either waning or waxing. We don't know if it's on its way to being full or on its way to being new. But because we're on a full moon today and we're headed toward a new moon, we're going to say that's a waning moon, and that's about right at the end of the week. And then finally, wow, the medallion. What an interesting piece of energy that's coming in. Holy moly. Again with this hand. So check it out. With the offering, it's an empty hand. Oh, and there's a moon here as well, and this is a waning moon. So we have this open hand asking to receive, and then we have this open hand. We can't really tell what it's doing, but it could be giving or receiving. In either case, here there's no offering, and there's this medallion coming in. So let's take a moment and just bask in these energies. With what's leaving, what's crumbling, it is our need to be the pleaser. It is our need to be the controller. It is our need to know what's going to happen. And it's also our attachment to our questions. Speaking for myself, but I believe this applies to our entire collective, when we are in the spiritual world working with tarot and working with these really magical, esoteric, powerful rituals of gaining information that puts what's not yet manifest into a manifested form. These energies, when we use tarot cards, are now represented in a physical form that we can touch, we can smell, we can frisbee across the room. When we work with those, we become attached to questions oftentimes. How can I ask the right question? How can I get the knowledge that I need? And something we spoke about last Tower Tuesday is that knowledge is not power. Experience is power. Knowledge is the beginning of what we need in order to settle into experience. It can help us be more present. For example, if you are training to be a brain surgeon and you don't go to school, I have a feeling that the process of doing brain surgery is going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. You'll learn through experience, but you may hurt yourself and a few people first. However, if you get the knowledge, it allows you to be more present in that experience. It allows you to kind of know what you're doing. It allows you to know what to expect. It makes everything smoother. But the knowledge itself isn't the power. The knowledge just changes the experience. What is going to happen is going to happen. And what Spirit is crumbling this Tower Tuesday is A, the question that we've been asking, our attachment to that question, and B, it's also answering the question. And we see that here with going from the riddle to the medallion. Now, in the case of the venom, this week, I'm hearing the word bitter sweet. bitter, sweet. With all these emotions rushing in, the river represents our water element and it represents movement. We have a full moon in Cancer, Cancer being ruled by the moon, Cancer being an element of water, Cancer being a reflector of emotions, strong attachment to emotions, the sign of Cancer. So we have all of this discovery coming in, we have this movement, we have tears, we have change, we have shock, we have a bittersweet moment, we have perhaps a manifestation that we hoped for, or we get the answer to our question, but maybe we don't love it the way we thought because we prepared with so much knowledge that when it came time to be in the experience, we're like, oh, I didn't need to suffer so much in advance for this. And that's something that Spirit is crumbling this week. Spirit is saying you will still receive what you're meant to receive. You don't have to be active in the manifestation process. You don't have to be working it over in your mind 1,000 times a day. You don't have to visit a reading every day or multiple times a day on the same topic to reinforce your belief in an outcome. This is a very specific message this week, especially as we go into the new year, from Spirit saying what is meant for you is going to find you. What is meant to happen is going to happen, and it doesn't require your ego to participate. And knowledge is primarily for the ego, whereas experience and presence is for the soul. So this transition, this Tower Tuesday in every area of your life, especially the one that you're most invested in and interested in. I'm hearing family, I'm hearing love, I'm hearing friendship, I'm hearing community, service, career, and self-improvement. So whether it is fitness and diet or changing the way you're going to approach in the new year, you're determining who am I going to be? How am I going to show up? How am I going to place boundaries? Spirit is saying we're losing our attachment to having to do it all ourselves. And we're learning this surrender piece. And it may be a little bit bittersweet with the venom here. It may be not what we expected, but that's kind of the beauty of it. That's exactly the beauty of it, is what Spirit's saying. And bittersweet means it will be a little bitter, but it's also going to be sweet. It's going to set you free. It's going to gift you with something more valuable than premeditated knowledge and expectations coming true. It's going to gift you with the power of allowing. So this Tower Tuesday, the power of allowing versus the power of controlling, the power of allowing and surrendering to the moment versus needing to know how the moment's going to go before the moment's even here. With the Orphan, something Spirit's bringing me back to, we got another hand held out here. So notice this theme, hand held out here. Again, it looks to me like it's asking to receive a flower, or that this hand is attached to a body that's no longer being animated by life. Then we have another hand reaching out. Wow, that card just flew off the table completely. So we're going to say farewell to it for now. But that offering card was a hand reaching out again. And here we have another hand. So expect to receive, but expect to receive something better in the long term, better for your overall experience, better for your present moment. And when it's better for the present moment, it's also better for the past and the future than the thing that we hoped for, than the riddle. Interesting thing. And I'm sure you probably know this as an intuitive. During a reading, when conducting a reading, everything matters. Everything that happens, every sound we hear, every symbol that's present, every color, every image, every taste, every smell. We just lost a card, the card that had the most color on it. And now all we're left with is black and white to represent what's being destroyed here. This is another message, primarily black and white. We have a little bit of color there, a little bit of red, and a little bit of twinkles over here. This is also a destruction of black and white thinking, of attachment to a binary. When I say a binary, that's this idea of there's right and there's wrong. There's left and there's right. There's sun and there's moon. There's masculine and there's feminine. These ideas, are they true? There are these extremes, but they only represent extremes. There's an entire world in the gray area between this binary where anything is possible. It's the void. It's where things come from. It's the gray area. And that's what Spirit is recreating here, is the gray area. It's a reminder that, once again, you don't have to have the right answer. You don't have to know everything. Get into the experience. Oh my goodness, there's a song, and it would require rapping. It would also require that I know the lyrics, and I'm only getting little bits and pieces, but it's like, get into it. So that's as far as we're gonna go. But getting into it, get into it. It's like this singer, I don't know who it is like rapping and clicking and sighing, and it's so exciting, but like, get into it, And Spirit's saying, we want you to get into the living. Get into the living of this moment instead of the making of the moment. You are the actor / actress, or however you want to be called, actor, actress, performer in this play. You get to make choices about your improv style. But what happens when you try to seek out the script and memorize the lines in advance is that you're actually writing a script that doesn't match with what the director and the producer are doing. So life's going to do a little bit of a course correction, and wham, you get to experience that this week. So let's see how it's going to unfold, beautiful soul. Let's see how it's going to unfold in actual events over the timeline of the week. And meanwhile, how are you doing? I've missed you so much. My heart has been with you in my birthday and Christmas festivities. My heart has been with you too, wondering, how is the Little Reader family? How is everyone in the world handling this shift into the new year, into 2024, a powerful year? How are you feeling? How's your heart? What's your story? I want to know. I want to send you love. I'm sending it to you right now. Open your heart and receive it, beautiful soul. We are going to move the week to come over to the side, to make a little bit of space. Hello, lady. Right here. So, Spirit, show us how these energies are going to unfold this Tower Tuesday. Show us how these energies are going to unfold, please. Whoa, 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 whoa. The Eight of Swords coming up first, upright. Death coming up second, upright. The Sun in reverse. Wow, this is beautiful. Oh my goodness. And the Six of Wands upright. What a triumphant time. Clarifiers, please, Spirit, for every card. Off the bottom, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Temperance under Death. Oh my power. The Sun gets the Eight of Cups in reverse, and the Six of Wands gets the Four of Swords upright. This card wants to come off the top. That's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And then the back of the deck energy is the Fool in reverse. So a brand new beginning. Wow. A brand new beginning in reverse shows us that two things. And also, please notice with me, beautiful soul, that two is a theme here. There were two things that I wanted to say early on about our What's Being Crumbled pile, and there's two things going on with this Fool in reverse. So two. Last week we spoke about romance, we spoke about partnership, powerful predictions for love, watching pieces come together. There's an element of partnership here as well, and it's floating in the ether. So whatever seeds were planted last week when it comes to partnership and working cohesively with someone or something are carrying over into this week with the number 2. Also duality, also the binary. Anytime we're dealing with black and white thinking or yin and yang or opposing forces, even when those are coming together in love, in passion, in marriage, in physicality, we're still looking at a binary. We're still looking at extremes. So keep that in mind as we see a huge theme of balance being restored this week. Part of the riddle, part of the question that's being answered, and part of the addressing the need to be asking a question constantly by Spirit is by changing the way we see the binary, changing the way we see the person with whom we may want to partner or are partnered with, changing the way we see ourselves as a number in an equation. If you're looking for a partner or if you're partnered, so basically if you're a human being, because that covers the entire spectrum, you're either looking for someone or unpartnered, we'll put those in one category, or you're partnered. There it is again with a binary. If you're in one of these two groups, you cannot help but identify yourself as a number in an equation. And you're either seeing yourself as the whole number, or you're seeing yourself as missing an element that you want to add in through partnership. Spirit's going to address that this week. So, with the Fool, the two things I wanted to mention about it. It's a beginning that doesn't fully form this week, but it starts. And the second part of it is something that you didn't think was going to happen. Surprise! Whoa. Huge deal, actually. I just had a bunch of downloads for our gorgeous collective. Wow. For some people, spoiler alert, surprise party. For other people, surprise outreach from someone. For other people, surprise discovery, surprise answer to a question. Let's look back at these again. Surprise emotional reaction with the river to something that we see and have this immediate resonance, musical resonance, harmony with. And it may even make us cry. With the river, I'm hearing all about crying, all about emotions. You may find yourself on New Year's Eve crying, finding yourself feeling more emotionally moved than you ever have on any other New Year that you can think of. With the Venom, actually a positive interpretation for this card that Spirit is showing is that it's going to be a release of pain and resentment, just leaving your system, leaving your body. This surprise has you forgiving someone radically and forgiving yourself for ever having judged them. And finally, with the Medallion, whether you're letting go of a preconceived notion or something you were holding on to, or whether you're being given something and receiving, in both cases, Spirit is saying you are getting the gift. You are getting the gift. Getting the gift that you want, getting the gift that you need, even if it comes in a slightly different form than you had been instructed through all of the knowledge that you've acquired. Spirit is really saying this week, let go of what you think is going to happen. Let go of what you have been told. Let go of what you have even hoped for. And be here now. Ed Sheeran song. If we just be here now. I think that's one of the lyrics in that song, but it's quite literally called Be Here Now. Recommend it. It's definitely part of, it is the song emblematic of this spread. So, Fool in reverse, new beginning, kicks off, unexpected, possibly not happening in the way we desired, but ultimately better because Spirit's in control of it. Good thing to note, when we want something and we get rejected for it one way or another, you can guarantee that something better is happening. It just, we always feel like it's, a disappointment, like it's not what I wanted. But never, ever in the universe has what someone desired as an outcome been superior to what has actually happened. And when we feel that way, it just means we're looking at too small of a picture. In the big picture, what actually occurs is always superior to what was desired, because when we desire something for ourselves and we create an outcome with knowledge for ourselves, it's from a place of the past. We use our mind to create a desire. We're using past material. That's what the mind does, is it looks at half forms based on knowledge we've already been given and projects into the future. What the heart does, what the soul does, is it looks at all time on a grander scale than we in our bodies can even consider. And then it broadcasts that into the future and makes a bigger, better outcome than our mind could ever manifest. So I say all that to say, with the Eight of Swords, The way this week kicks off and the way this scenario applies to you in whatever area of your life you are thinking about right now, beautiful soul, is with an 8 of Swords energy, which is an area where you've been bound up, trapped up, locked up, unable to move forward with this 8 of Swords upright. And the thing is, you've been stuck in this for a long time. With the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, it's something you waited on, seeds that have been sown and have been wanting to root. But the problem is it never roots, and there's never any harvest with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. And with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, we also know, forgive me as I fiddle with this card, I'm trying to get the glare off of it. I'm having varying levels of success, darling. But with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, this thing won't kick up off the ground. It never comes to fruition. It never manifests. It never gets where we want it to get. And it's like, oh, very frustrating. That's the beginning of the week. That's the situation. That's the area to focus on. That's where the orphan, the offering, and the riddle are. Because what Spirit is saying our approach has been in the past months and years to this particular topic has been in, okay, how do I change this situation by pleasing? How do I change this situation by asking the correct question? How do I change this situation and get away from the loneliness and the frustration in this area by morphing myself? Because the situation itself won't seem to change. However, this Tower Tuesday, beautiful soul, get ready for an enormous change in this area with death. And with death, this typically means change in such a way that it challenges our ego. This is an ego death. What is the ego? The ego is not to be feared, not to be hated. The ego is simply form and pattern. Form and pattern. Our body is a product of ego. Our body is three-dimensional. It's dense. It's made of form in our DNA. And it's made of patterns, also in our DNA, but also in our environments. So this ego death that we have in this situation you're thinking about is something we've repeated over and over and over again, and we've tried to change ourselves to make this situation change, because as we know, this situation just won't change. This week in this death, it is a change to our patterns. It's a change to our ego based on new information that we experience in the present moment. So it's not knowledge previously acquired, and it's not trying to manhandle or change something or manipulate a situation. This death comes from greater forces outside of us stepping in and changing the situation in ways that we can't control. That's the venom. And for us, as human beings, anytime we can't control something, that's an owie. We love control. Even surrender is an act of control. Surrender is actually the ultimate act of control, because we say, I'm going to forfeit the world's ability to change my inner space by surrendering to whatever happens. That's the ultimate control of our inner world. But when we're trying to control our outer world, like we've been doing in this situation, a death hits us hard. The great news is with temperance, and may I just mention Holy Major Arcana with death over temperance, and I hope this is not a violation of any nudity clause, but just in case, I'm going to cover the most special parts here. With temperance, this tells us that this death brings enormous balance, great balance, great change. Look at the standing rock structure. Interestingly, I'd like to mention, I was moved to bring out this little fountain with these river rocks in it. River rocks reference to our river card, and the standing rocks kind of remind me of the rocks here, because people at rivers often create these balanced structures of standing rocks. This death, this change brings in relatively quickly in this week huge balance. Liberation is the word that I'm hearing. And we have these beautiful blues and purples in both of these cards. I'd love for you to take a look at these. And if seeing or visualizing this is not available, please allow me to describe this beautiful blue and purple theme, as well as we have this solar, almost sunset series of sacral orange, is talking about our creative chakra with the sacral chakra, our throat chakra with the blues, and our third eye chakra with our purples and violets here. And you could even go a little bit crown with that, especially with the rose coming out of the crown of the skull's head. This is a highly spiritual experience. When it speaks to higher chakras like this, This is really a shift in our mental patterning, really a shift in the way we see the world, really a shift in the way we communicate, the way we present ourselves. And with the sacral chakra showing up here, it's going to affect our creativity, our fertility, our life force, our vitality, if I didn't already say that. Anything ending with ity, apparently. Longevity, vitality, creativity. They all have the same, it wouldn't be prefix. Someone who's an English major, drop in and tell me what it is that I'm thinking of. But this really changes the entire game, this Tower Tuesday. And it's probably the deepest change we've experienced this year. So deep breath in, deep breath out, in the knowing that we are becoming that which we've always been on a conscious level. Wow, thank you, Spirit, for that. Not fully sure what it means, but someone will decode it down in the comments. With the sun in reverse, as we get toward the weekend, here we've been in the middle of the week. We're looking at Tuesday, Thursday. I'm sorry, we're on Tuesday now. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. About Friday is when we start to have this huge realization. Come the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we are having the sun card show up with a massive imbuing of joy, optimism, and positivity, particularly in something that we had thought we'd left behind. With the Eight of Cups in reverse, Eight of Cups upright, we would have left it behind and moved on. We would have seen this door and walked up those stairs and been out. But with this card in reverse, it's something that we'd either tried to leave behind before and thought was gone, or we've kind of been holding on, clinging, waiting for something to happen here. We get this beautiful imbuing of solar energy, of creativity, of inspiration as a result of this death and this new balance coming in. And with the sun in reverse, it tells me that it's not as good as it's going to get even yet. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's a game changer. But in this particular instance, the better it gets, the better it gets. So it's going to take time. Don't expect this Tower Tuesday this week into the January 1st, 2024 and January 2nd era to be the best time of your life. Expect it to set the stage for the best time of your life. And what is the best time of our life if time is linear? It's simply the best version of ourselves showing up presently in our life. That is what the best times of our lives are. Finally, as we close out the week with the Six of Wands, ultimate success, really being recognized and validated in the ways you've been craving, answering the questions you've been wondering. Whether or not it's in the way you desire doesn't matter, because you're going to feel the quality of the energy being so uplifting and so true and so real that it doesn't matter. You now at this point recognize, I didn't have to do all the work. I didn't have to finagle everything. With the Four of Swords, this rest, this peace, this revitalization means that now you have this knowing. I can actually chill and let the universe do more than I thought. I can actually be the second fiddler, second player, second string. There we go. I can be the second string in my own orchestra. I don't need to be the lead violinist. I don't need to be first string. I don't need to even be the conductor. I don't need to lead this whole thing. Big music theme here. So I don't know what musicians we have watching. Wonderful to have you here, beautiful soul. I don't know what it is about the strings. There's something about, maybe when we play a violin, have you ever heard this term, world's tiniest violin? Like when people complain or when they're sad, someone will be like, play me your sad song. The sad song is over. The victim mentality, the narrative of it's not happening for me yet. Why hasn't it happened? I know all this knowledge. Why won't this thing manifest? What's going on? This area of your life that has just sapped your energy away. You relinquish that thing. You are not holding on to it anymore. That is why this card wanted to come out. The Four of Pentacles, the card of hoarding and holding. And it's not just material things. It's the card of hoarding and holding on to anything that's third dimensional, anything that we're trying to keep the same. In a way, Spirit is saying that this whole riddle, this whole offering, this whole orphan season of trying to change yourself actually served you immensely. That's why it happened, so that you could learn that There is no way that you can contort yourself or your worldview or your belief system to make life be the way you want it to be. Instead, you accept things exactly as they are, accept the emotions, and the motions, back to movement again. The emotions or the lack of motions that come with that. And in the acceptance and in the relinquishment of the need to control comes the breakthrough. And again, it's especially pertinent and poignant for our tarot lovers like myself who deal in the world of knowledge. This is the currency that we're exchanging, is knowledge. So how do we reconcile that with surrender? We understand that if we receive and take in knowledge with intention of implementing it into real grounded experience, it will serve us beautifully. With the aforementioned brain surgeon example, if we have a class for brain surgery, we're sitting there knowing what we're going to use that knowledge for to enrich the experience when it happens. But we are not using the knowledge to change ourself into anything else. If I have no intention of being a brain surgeon, but I sit through 8 years of school to become one or to gain that education, that is a massive waste of my mental energy, a massive waste of my mental machinations. Now, the universe is correcting me and saying, little reader, calm down. There's no such thing as a waste in this universe. So let me rephrase that to be true to both of us. It's not that it's a waste. It is instead a misdirection. And what Spirit is doing at this moment on this Tower Tuesday is redirecting in a catastrophic and beautiful way our misused energies and our misused mental machinations to put us back into the path of what is the truth in an absolutely beautiful way, and a reminder of how small we are in an absolutely beautiful way. So this Tower Tuesday, my gorgeous soul, whatever situation you asked about, knowing that it applies to all situations truly, prepare to feel small in a gorgeous way. Prepare to let go of something that had been just around, sapping you of resources in a beautiful way. Prepare to be inspired in a situation that you thought you'd left behind, or on a topic that you finally decided to surrender to, and then in that moment, you got an answer. Prepare to understand that you can rest and you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be the doer. Instead, you can simply be the beer. And prepare to let go of anything you've been holding on to, communication in your throat, ideas in your mind, creative impulses in your sacral chakra and energy system, and even solar plexus while we're at it with this sun card. Your rejuvenation to kick off this year is in understanding that there's something big taking care of you, and all you need to do is show up and experience it, even without any knowledge of what's to come. So, beautiful soul, that is where we are leaving it this Tower Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy this beautiful full moon in Cancer and our journey into the new year. I can't wait to see you again in the Little Reader's house. But for now, I am sending you all the love I've got. Until we chat again, bye for now.